Good morning, guys. Nope, it's actually afternoon. We're gonna go outside and harvest a something I planted and forgot about. But first, I'm putting this frozen pot roast into the slow cooker because it's a cool day, and I'm not going to put anything on it just yet because it's still frozen, but once it defrosts, I'm going to come back and then add some seasonings and stuff on it. So let's go outside and harvest. Now that I've gotten outside, the sun's out, so it doesn't feel so cold, but in the shade, it's still really chilly. Okay. The first place I'm going to head over is I have my harvest basket. Actually, I'm going to open this hoop house because the sun is out and I don't want it to get too hot in here. Let me feel it. Yeah, it's pretty warm. So in the orchard area, I have 4 forever garden beds, but in the long ones, let's see, that long one right there, and then there's another one over here. I planted ginger and turmeric, and the ducks kept getting in here and scratching out the ginger and turmeric, so I don't like scratching it up, and every time I would replant it, they would just redig it. So I don't know if any is actually going to be inside these beds. I know there's some ginger here. I don't know if there's any in here because that doesn't really look like ginger. That look like weeds. But we're going to pull it up and we're going to see what we get. I guess I'll actually start with the actual ginger because I know that there's ginger in this bed. And then if that's just weeds, we'll pull those up too. So if you didn't know, this is what ginger looks like. You ready? Let's see. It already smells gingery. Yeah, gingery. Yep. Oh, that was a turmeric. So that's new ginger. That's awesome. I can make some elderberry. That's the old piece of ginger that I planted. Let's see. And all that's the new ginger. I'm really excited about that because it is cold and flu season, and I can make some elderberry syrup with this ginger. And I can bring you guys along and show you. So you see all of that is new ginger, and some of the new ginger has started to sprout again. But the old ginger is, I just saw it. Oh, right there. Ugh. So it was this piece, and we have all of that. Ginger is literally the easiest thing to grow. So I have some here in these beds, like I said, but I wanted to harvest these because I want to move over my asparagus out of the garden area. I have 2 log raised beds. If you're not familiar, that's just, oh, that was a weed. Yeah, I have 2 log raised beds in the garden. If you aren't familiar, ooh, I'm gonna throw that out there. I don't mind if there's weeds out there. And ooh, that's weeds again. I don't want to shake off too much roots in here because I think that is spread, even if you leave like a little bit of roots in, that they can still, I'm pretty sure that's what I read, that this can still spread. So I want to take the whole thing out. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, my ginger, I mean not my ginger, my asparagus that's inside of the garden has gotten completely overtaken with weeds, and I want to really just flip that bed and turn it into a bed that I can plant from. Not an annual bed, a perennial bed. Whew. I'm tired. I want to turn it into an annual bed, and so I want to dig out all of the asparagus that's there and bring them into these two beds, because these two beds I want to keep, since they're in the orchard, for things that come back every year. Where over in the garden, those are things that for the most part I have to reseed them every year, and they've gotten overrun with weeds, and it's just really hard to to weed, because once we weed it, like my son one time tried to weed with just to knock down the weeds because they were so high, and a lot of the asparagus is really, really high, and you want to leave them that high so that they can die back and then have asparagus for next year and grow bigger. But instead he ended up taking out a lot of asparagus. I got distracted by this duck. Let me show you. So now of course they'll run back in, but this black and white duck was out, and it just looks so pretty because it has green on it as well, and it was just so cute. Those ducks are ducks that we hatched ourselves, and so it's been so fun to see them growing. So anyway, okay, some of this is weeds. This is a weed. And then there's also ginger here. Oops! I broke that off. And it's still stuck in the ground. So ginger, that's the piece that it came off of. Ginger actually doesn't go deep, it just goes out. That's a new piece of ginger I broke. New ginger smells so good. It's not like super pungent and spicy like dried ginger. And if you didn't know, I forgot the reason, but you cannot, so like I couldn't keep this and replant it. Anytime you plant ginger from these rhizomes, you have to get new ginger. So I couldn't save that and then replant it next year, but I could use it this year, and I am. Oopsie. I was just thinking I could probably, and I think I did that, yeah, for my last ginger last year. I do have some freeze-dried ginger that I've been using, or I haven't used, so I could use that for my elderberry syrup. I did sell, if you've never made ginger before, I mean not ginger, elderberry syrup before, you should definitely try. It's super easy. I've in the past sold little kits to make elderberry syrup, so it was just dry ingredients. I shipped dry ingredients and then with instructions for you to make elderberry syrup, and that was really cool and fun. So I have used my dried ginger. Okay. Nope. I thought that was it. Ugh. If you've never grown ginger before, definitely try it. In my area, you can leave it till the first frost, which my estimated first frost is about 3 weeks, or supposed to be. Ow. So yeah, there's not any. Yeah, well, I see maybe 2 pieces of ginger in here. For the most part, this is just dead grass. But right here, where you see some green, is some ginger. Okay, here is the last place where I threw some ginger in here. This is at the front of the entrance of my garden. That came out so much easier. Wow, this is right literally at the top. And it's so much bigger. They're so much bigger. I think I planted these at the same time. They came out easier. That's awesome. So there are some weeds in here, as well as my rose, but no, winter, don't come in here. Of course you're gonna come in here. Wow, oh my goodness, guys. This ginger is way bigger than the ginger over in the orchard area. They came out super easy. That could totally be because these ginger didn't get uprooted 1,000 times, but obviously they've had the same amount of rain because I haven't watered them. Whew, that scared me. But guys, like, look at that ginger. I love this bed. This came out so much cleaner. These are weeds. This is a tree trying to grow in my beds. Gum tree. So this is the rose. This is more gum tree. But look at this. Wow. And I realized that these were actually at the top of the soil, like really way more shallow than the other pieces. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but obviously also nutrients. So guys, this is all of the ginger that we harvested. But I'm so shocked at the ginger from, like, it's literally came out so clean. It smells so good. What I'm gonna do is just snap off the leaves like that and clean, probably just wash off with water this ginger, but I'm not going to snap off all the leaves yet because I want to hold it and then use the hose to spray off this ginger. Literally, it's amazing. While we're out here, might as well look at what's going on. That's a watermelon that's growing back. I have okra popping up all over the garden. I don't even know how okra got here. This one feels woody, but this one looks good and feels good. Ow. Ugh. Oh yeah, that tastes good. Last year was the first year I grew okra or tasted raw okra. I've only had cooked okra, and I thought it was makes everything slimy and gross. But I doubt I'll ever have to plant okra again because there's so many little seeds in here and they just keep coming back. Y'all, these basils are huge. They smell so good. I wish you can smell this. Because I planted all types of basils. So there's like lemon basil, lime basil, Genovese basil, Thai basil, I don't know, purple ruffled leaf basil down there. Like all of this is basil. It's amazing. I'm probably gonna sit on my patio and clean these off and get them ready to probably slice and go in the freeze dryer. That's what I think I'm gonna do with them to save them, and then I'll have to bring you guys back along with me when we make some elderberry syrup if you're interested in things like that using our ginger. Probably not this ginger that we grew, but the ginger we grew last year, so that I can use that first. But I'll have to see you guys next time. Bye.